Hi, this is Diana Sinton, a Senior Research Fellow with the University Consortium for Geographic Information Science. I'd like to show you today a brief overview of one of the new platforms we have for our GIS&T Body of Knowledge. It's called the Living Textbook, and it's a platform, an open source platform that was designed and built at the University of Twente in the Netherlands to support teaching, learning, and curriculum design. In fact, it was put together by faculty and staff at ITC, which is their Geoinformation Science and Earth Observation program. So we have put our GIS&T Body of Knowledge, the 2023 version, into an open access version of this living textbook. So at GISTBOK-LTB, for living textbook, .ucgis.org, the one thing that you should do is come here and go to the open dashboard. We're not yet providing any different types of account or access to this interface. For now, just please go to the open access version of it here at the open dashboard. And you can see here at this, from this dashboard interface, relatively simple here. The primary way to navigate is through the topics themselves. So let's click on the topics list. And what we see are all of the different individual topics that are part of this GIS&T BOK collection, which we've been building now for several decades. I want to point out a little bit from this alphabetical list, a list that's alphabetical by the codes, or arranged numerically here by the codes too, that we have ones. AM is for our analytics and modeling knowledge area. And you'll see times when there'll be a code here that has two parts, the AM for analytics and modeling, and then a second unit, in this case is 01, which references the unit. It's like a middle level in a hierarchy, which in this case is methodological context. And within this 01 methodological context unit, we have two individual topics. And the individual topics are going to have three parts to their codes: the knowledge area, the unit, and then the unique number for each topic. So we can see here that, for example, AM01, this unit has two topics within it. This unit of building blocks has about, 5-6 different topics in them here. Before we go and look at these through the maps, let's take a look at these just through the view option here. So I'm going to click view. For this one, I picked aerial interpolation. And what will come up right away is the full version of this topic with all of its description, its narrative description, the information about the authors. Currently, it's listed under introduction here, but that really is the author and citation information. That's a little tag there that will get changed later. And you can scroll through and read all of the narrative content which the authors had provided. We have the content, we have references, and then we have learning outcomes. We have some related topics to these. At this point, these related topics are suggested or by the editorial board or by the authors themselves. Later, our related topics might be derived through a little bit of work with our knowledge graph. But that's what we have here for each one of these individual topics. At the top here, we have these different tags, which are able to be used as a filter, a little bit like keywords. So for example, if I click on historical GIS right here, what will come up are any of the topics from anywhere in the collection, which which have themselves been tagged with that particular term, in this case of historical GIS. The DOI itself is designed to help link this topic here within the living textbook back to its version in our visualization and search platform, which is described in a separate video. So that's what will happen when all of the pieces are together, and you can link back and forth. So the list version of all of the topics is going to work like that. And you can do searches for them here. If we start searching, for example, on any term like, let's try scale again, what will come up here with this particular search is when scale is part of the name, in this case, of any of the topics. We have another button, another search option up here, which is more comprehensive. And here we search for scale. In this case, we will find, once it returns, we will find places where scale appears anywhere within the topic itself. We don't have instances or abbreviations yet functioning within this particular interface, but you'd also be able to see where scale appears in terms of any of the references or the learning outcomes themselves. So two different types of searching here, one that's searching just at the topic level, and then a more universal global search from the top of the interface. The other thing we've got up here is our map itself. Let's go back to the aerial interpolation view. I'm going to click the view button again, and now I'm going to say open map. And what we're going to see is the very large knowledge graph representation that has, let's go back to aerial interpolation right here, that indicates all of our topics and our units and how they are connected with one another. We see here that aerial interpolation is a subconcept of AM02 building blocks, and then we can see the relationships that aerial interpolation is related to a topic that's over in the GIS and Society knowledge area on aggregation of spatial entities and legislative redistricting. We see that it's related to also statistical mapping and cartography and visualization. It's possible to use the map and do all of your searching through here. The GIS&T Body of Knowledge is here, and you can see the 10 different knowledge areas that come off of this. So these 10 different knowledge areas in terms of relationships are indicated as being subconcepts of domain applications. The circle is the largest of all of the other knowledge areas because the domain applications knowledge area is not further subdivided into units, so that it's not further subdivided into units, so that all of these individual topics just are subconcepts directly off of the domain applications. If the full movement around of the map bothers you, clicking off the animation right here can be helpful. So the map itself can always be closed. Another thing that can happen is we can filter the map through these tags. You can filter them and you can color them on tags. One of the things I wanted to show here, for example, is if we put on, some of these topics have not yet been completed. They are still just placeholders, and they've all been given a tag of forthcoming. So if we take a look at which are the topics here which only exist as placeholders, some of these are just in the pipeline somewhere. Some of them don't even yet have an author divided or identified for them as of now, early 2024. You can see which ones are currently still here as placeholders. So that's, and then we've got a refresh button on the full map here. Let's clear off that filter tag for forthcoming. So this is the interface that is, again, part of our living textbook interface. There are 2 parts of it that will be further developed and released and explained just in the next couple of months. There's going to be an interactive glossary, a live dynamic glossary that acts from within each one of the topics. All of the definitions that are currently within one single topic are going to be linked across all of the topics. And we're also going to be illustrating several different ways that we can put in learning paths through the content itself. And then work on some other ways to provide access to people from the UCGIS community to be able to work with these concept maps themselves and work on their own learning paths. So that's just a little bit of how you work with this new interface. I hope you enjoy exploring it. And let's see, let's close the map here. And let us know what you think. UCGIS or GIS&T BOK at ucgis.org. Thanks.